So we've got the running program, we've got Pilates, we've done mobility stuff, you've got strengthening stuff. Now we're going to go through some yoga. So we've got Megan here. She's going to take us through a little yoga routine. And is it better to do yoga before you run, after you run, any time during the day?
Both.
Both.
Probably not during the run.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not during the run. But both. So yoga can be used as a way to warm the body up. It can also be used as a way to cool the body down. So whether you're taking poses in the morning just to get the body up and things moving and your joints moving, or you're using portions of yoga right before you run just to again warm up the body. It can also be used in a cool down or in the evening, but really the foundation of yoga is breath. So as you're practicing and you're warming or you're flowing or you're cooling down with yoga, focusing on how the breath and the body are working together, which will also help in the mobility. And as you're running, focusing on the breath and how the breath is supporting the body. So during our yoga flow today, we take you through 3 phases of a yoga practice. So from a warm-up to a flow to a cool down, and keeping it all balanced with the breath and noticing how the breath actually allows the body to sit back into positions in a deeper way and more of a core way, which ultimately helps how you run, right?
Yep. And people think about yoga and you're really super flexible and really stretched out. Someone like me, typically runners are not the greatest at flexibility. Someone like me who's kind of tight and stiff in general, we've got some modifications and stuff to do. We've got a couple of blocks here, so you want to talk about how we can utilize those in our practice.
Yeah, so how about we use the blocks where you're at right now?
Sure.
And let's do butterfly.
Okay.
So in butterfly, we bring our feet together, and everybody is different on where our knees actually land. So in this position, what we're really focusing on is allowing the knees to just really let gravity help. So we have a few different ways that we can use blocks. We can use them in the long way, or the wide way, or the flat way. So in here, I would say let's put them on the long side and kind of tilt them in. And then the idea is that you're sitting up through your sit bones and your spine is really long, and imagining that there's almost an invisible line coming out of the top of your head. And your knees should just be resting. Do you feel like your knees are resting? Mm-hmm. And that gravity is doing the work and you're not holding them up?
Right.
Okay, good. And then our feet are just used as a way to just keep our body really tall. So you're doing a great job by just holding your feet in, and again, just allowing your breath to let your body sink into those blocks. So do you feel like that's happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more supported this way than just holding them up like that, because my hips are tight, obviously my knees are up, so having that support allows me to be a little more into and it's not cheating, right? If
No.
You're using a block.
No, it's actually
Good.
Supporting your body, and the more we can support our body, the more our body will support us. So if we allow the blocks to do the work, eventually, over time, and the more we do this, and in this position can be done for 2 minutes to 5 minutes, and the longer we do it, the more we'll notice that we no longer need the blocks at this setting, but instead they can come to the next setting down. And that's the goal, is to allow the hips to open up and the knees to fall further down. And as we do that, our hips become less tight, and I guess it allows our running to be different too. Mm-hmm. And after, really, and I think that's the biggest thing with our hips and our hip flexors, is when we allow the hips to open up, then we can do the exercise that we're doing the running, and then when we're done running, we don't feel like tight. Our body feels still.
And we've talked about the importance of warming up before you run and then stretching after. And typically stretching, which yoga has mobility and stretching, but typically after your activity, your muscles are warmed up. That's when you're going to get kind of the biggest bang for your buck with stretching and getting those muscles to elongate to give you more support and strength. So going through this flow afterwards, and do it before, and try it out and see what you like. It's beneficial to do it both before and after, but going through this routine we'll go through after tends to give you a bigger bang for your buck and allows that stretch to happen easier, and you can work from this position to down lower and all that stuff. Even just sitting here for supported for this time, I feel a little more relaxed. I feel like I could go a little lower and not feel like I had to start up so high. So
Do you want to take the last advancement to this? So
Sure.
this would be considered maybe a modification just to get us where we're trying to go. And then when you're ready, you can put a block on your feet. And we may need 2 blocks. So make a T there. And then, oh, that's a great idea. A little bit more balance. And then folding forward and allowing your forehead, if you'd like to come forward into the stretch. Perfect.
yeah, I can reach there, but that's a pretty good stretch there.
And
So you're
over
not ready for
time, that stretch can just become deeper and more present.
Great.
Okay.
All right. So we got yoga blocks you can use. Anything else you could use besides yoga blocks?
Anything.
Towels,
Blankets,
pillows,
towels. You could just put a pile of sweatshirts and
Nice.
and do your sweatshirts.
All right. So that'll be our flow, and if you got any questions, let us know.
Thanks for joining us. Happy running.